Welcome. My name is Mark Anthony Dubois Jr. I was born July 4th, 1986. I want to say thank you for tuning in. What I want to talk about today is chaos. You know, my personal understanding with what I see going on in a lot of people's houses and a lot of the movies we watch, the music we listen to, the things that we like to entertain ourselves with, says a lot about who we are as a people. And I think the main reason that I don't really watch too much of like TV or shows or even movies, anything anymore, because there's a big shift that's gone on with a lot of it to just know what most people are looking for, and it's chaos, just absolute mass chaos, shooting, killing, fighting, beating up, just drugs and partying and did I say drugs already? More drugs and just it's just chaos. Like everyone's cheating on everyone. Can't no one just be faithful and just dogs biting people and doing crazy stuff and it's just chaos. Like racing and road racing and street racing and blowing up stuff and just the one that is the struggle for me for most all movies today, even like the Marvel stuff that's supposed to be like pretty PG. Like the I'm gonna say this word just straight up how I see it. Just the murder, like the amount of just mass murder that's just constantly shown to us is like this is this is fun, this is great, this is excitable. That just really like proves to me more of how we just love being in chaos, man. So that's why in reality for me, a real good way to figure out what's going on in your day to day with your simple dog that you're struggling with right now, more than likely, is I bet you love the chaos. That's why nothing in reality getting better. I bet you love the chaos. That's why you're constantly bickering and battling and fighting and fussing and hollering and hooting with your spouse and your children all the time. And even, worst case scenario with your own self. You're trying to get yourself, save yourself to do something, but you end up not doing it and you ended up finding excuses for it and you ended up just not doing anything at all because you like the chaos. And the chaos is like being shoved to us today as if that's normal. And that's how everybody is. And that's how everybody in reality should be. You should be in a chaotic, crazy, no sense of control, no sense of understanding what's happening type situation. You know why? Because that's a very easy thing to be able to very, very massively control at the end of the day. But in reality, in my opinion, it all starts with a mass level of trauma. Because it's gonna say, I'm just gonna straight up say, just based on what I keep seeing, hearing, reading, understanding, researching, there's no perfect person on this planet. That's just everything was right and they're just grade A. We all have things and stuff that we have to deal with. And it's a matter of how each of us deals with what's happened to us that shows what goes on with us in the future in reality. Because I can say, like, someone can look at my life as a baby child, people that knew me, everyone that was around me, everyone that was just there, very, very, very regular, they would more likely say, like, Mark Anthony, you not gonna make it based on what a lot of people have seen from me and they heard about me and knew about what I was and what I did and everything about me. That's like, dude, you should have been in prison and or best case scenario, you should be dead already based on how you were and what was going on with you. And it was for me to, in reality, take that trauma that happened to me and use it in a way of, for me, I was always in my brain of trying to help and fix myself. But in reality, I realized a bigger purpose here with being able to not only just fix myself, but educate myself and being able to have the time and the resources and the drive, the unlimited drive in me to just be able to help someone else out with the crazy madness that was going on in my life. And the more and more that I keep seeing and reading and looking at more and more in this world, the more I just realize I think most everybody we just love the chaos. We love it. We don't know how not to be in it. When you start to like say feel pretty good, you want to like turn on a TV show just to destroy everything that you thought was good and going great in your world and in your life. It's like we gravitate towards it. We just can't get away from it. We can't get away from the chaos because that's to me something that is deep down inside of you that is just screaming, I need help. I need help. Because some very, very popular stuff nowadays is like serial killer stuff. Like they have like movies and shows and oh my goodness, like so many podcasts and all this stuff. And you guys are just like listening more and more and more to basically how to murder somebody. Like that's not healthy. That's not something that we should like figure out how to be able to know the best of and how to be able to figure out and how to be able to get into the mind of. That is something that we need to figure out how to do the opposite of that and get away from that. But yet there's a lot, clearly a lot. They're making TV shows about it, I hear now, that we're just wanting to get further and further into this stuff. And if you're into all this stuff, you're into all the TV shows that are all about murder, you're into all the TV shows about gossiping and slandering and cheating and lying and doing all that, I just want you to really, really think about what's going on in your day to day. Because in reality, there's something that, you know, my dad told me when I was really young, but I just ignored it. But I totally understand it today about what type of music you listen to and what's actually going on in your world. Because I listen to some of the music that I used to listen to back when I was a kid, and I'm just like, sometimes today, like I heard a song the other day that just gives me the chills of like, I can't believe I used to listen to this. No wonder I was so messed up. No wonder I was, in reality, the best word that I could say is psychotic. Just mad, just wild, just savage, just crazy. No wonder. I was like listening to this on repeat. And I hear it today and really understand it today, and it makes perfect sense. What you surround yourself around, like, why isn't your world gonna be that? And it's not good enough, bad enough, or whatever way they say that it's your friends. It's no longer just your friends, because most people today, unfortunately, but fortunately, but I believe it's by design, don't really have friends. You don't really have like a group of people that you're just constantly always hanging out with. So it's not like they're the ones that are giving you the, say, bad recommendations. It's more of all of our media today. It's like you can't escape TVs. I can't go to eat nowhere that doesn't have a TV in a building. I'm just like, they are everywhere. Everything is being shoved to us to watch this, pay attention to, see this, see this, see this. So we're watching that, and in reality, that's our peers. So when you're watching somebody smoking and drinking on the TV all day long, what do you want to do? Smoke and drink. When you're watching somebody cheating on their wife and cheating on their husband all the time, what do you end up wanting to do? It starts to be you and what you want to do and who you are. And that's like, in reality, something that is very, very damaging. But this is the thing that I'm going to say is probably one of the hardest things for us to be able to work upon ourselves and be able to just really understand and really just accept in reality. Because a lot of times we think that our lives are just so perfect and so great and we're so amazing, so awesome, but yet on our drive to work, we're sitting here listening to a murder case over and over and over again. I want you to really just question what's going on with that. What's going on with you and why you need that, why you're desiring that. Because you're needing chaos. You're adding chaos purposely in reality. Well, maybe not purposely, but I know the world is pretty strong about making us have to pay attention to some things. But you could shut it off, but you're purposely like trying to bring more and more chaotic things into your world. You're purposely asking, this is something huge. I don't know too many guys that do the same stuff, but they do it, but in a different sense of like wanting to know about all your girlfriend's issues, all her problems. You're like on the phone for 8 hours, just gossiping, slandering, just destroying people, talking bad about people. Just Johnny, what is that? Outs? You can't have that. No, you can come here. You can come here. Not with that though. Outs. Come here. You're getting good at carrying stuff for me, but I don't want you to carry that right now. You're on timeout right now. Get down. Sorry, we had a get down. I know you hungry. We gonna eat. Give me some time. Give me a second, and we'll get there. No, you can get down now. You got 5 minutes at least. Get down. Trying to get down, all the way down to the floor down. Thank you. No, that's still. No, my goodness, Johnny, get all the way down, buddy. Get down. This is the part that I'll talk about that on another day. But that's a perfect example right now of what I see and know goes on when once you start to get out of the chaos and start to get out of the one word I want to use there is the punishment is the best word to use. That it's hard to like get something to listen to you when that's all that you've used and that's all that you've done. When all that you've used is chaos and it's giving you results, all you want to do is continue to keep on using chaos. When all that you've done is destructiveness in your life, you make people move, you get people to react, you get people to respond on using just manipulative, evil tactics. Since it gives you reward history, you want to keep using it, thinking like that's acceptable, that's a way to be able to go. Because that's in reality what goes on with dog training stuff, is we use the manipulation and it works. So it's like, okay, since it works, we could just use that then, since it seems to be doing something. But it doesn't mean that you're getting something great, getting something good. It means that in the end, you're getting something that is going to want to do nothing for you. Want to listen nothing. Doesn't want to listen anymore to you in the end. And that is something that is just very, very tragic in reality, because that's what I just constantly keep seeing is what we do, is we love the chaos. And we want to put everything around us in chaos. And it seems like the chaos is working, but it's chaos. There's no way that it's actually going to work. And something happens that you're going to have a blow up and an explosion, and the realness is going to finally be able to be seen. And that's when, most cases, I mean, it comes down to a simple dog at that moment, that's when you have to give up on it. That's when you don't want anything to deal with it anymore. Because you got to that point that your chaos is not giving you what is it you're looking for. And when you try to do something else, it's not going to work. So when I try to be like, say, the best words I can use with him, when I'm in a situation that I'm like, I don't want you to do something, like I really don't. And he's looking at me like, but I want to do it. So I don't care what you got to say right now. I want to do it. So for me, the way that I know works, because that's the chaos that works, it's to yell at him. Get down. I said not do that. Something like that. I can get that dog to snap in action instantly. But for me, I'm trying to get away from that because that's not healthy. Because I got to the point that didn't work anymore. So that's where I was stumbling and fumbling. And that's where, at the end of the day, a lot of folks are struggling with their dog right now. Because you started with the sweetness, and then you went to chaos, or you never even started sweet. You went straight to chaos. And straight to chaos, you can only go so far with it. And then you reach that point that there's nothing more you can do. Because I reached that point with that dog in specific. There's nothing more I can do to get him to listen to me. Then I had to figure out a whole new realm. And that whole new realm has been a challenge for me because the chaos worked. And it gave me like results. It seemed like that. But once I started to release that, and I started to realize that I'm not getting the same level of results, it's because basically at the end of the day, I was just abusing him to get what I wanted. And that's why I wasn't getting it like, say, long term. It was just a short term thing. And the chaos is something that I don't know why, but it that's the best way of saying it. It feels good. It feels normal because that's just what we live in today is chaos. We don't live in just calm, relaxed peace. So when things are pretty calm, it's like the first thing you have to do is I need to put some sort of drama back into my life again to be able to make myself be okay. Johnny, okay, you can go. To make myself be okay. But the main thing is, because even like right here, he's gonna act so much different because I'm not coming at him with that high level of force. We're starting to listen to each other. And the more that we sit there and listen to each other, the more that we're gonna be able to get stuff done. As opposed to just me just saying, hey, no, and I'm about to beat your butt basically to do anything. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. But the main thing is that I'm just always constantly seeing is we like the chaos because we don't know how to be without it. We don't know how to live without it. We don't know how to live in silence, in peace, and just chill. We don't know how to live in it. We don't know how to live in the stance of how this entire time everything has been going on, she's just hanging out, man. She's not affected by anything that's going on. I'm sitting here talking to dude, getting on him. I'm sitting there playing with Shadow. She's just here, hanging out, chilling, relaxed. She's looking at some things now like, oh, what's going on? But she's very, very neutral. She's calm. And that's a weird thing for a lot of people. I don't want to say this, but I'm just going to say it right now. It just is what it is. But it's hard for people to watch a dog training video when the dogs look like this. Like no one wants to see this. Everyone wants to see the dogs like so excited or so scared or so weird, like just so in chaos, man. And they think like, oh, that's cool, that's great. But when they see this, it's like, yeah, just shut that off. That's boring. There's nothing with that. There's nothing there. I don't want to be a part of that. And that's literally how we are in life right now. We need to be in this extreme level of just terror for us to feel like we're even alive, to even want to see, to even want to be around in it. And it's that's what's so backwards to me. Because that's why, even for me, like straight up, before when I would watch some people's dog training videos, I see a dog looking like this, I'm like, okay, when's the good stuff gonna happen? When's the party gonna happen? When am I gonna actually learn something? When am I gonna be able to get the skills needed to be able to get my dog to be able to get better? But yet all you're watching are dogs that are getting more and more and more in drive, more crazy, more wild, more pushy, more chewing up stuff, more biting stuff, more rolling on stuff, more digging stuff, more just jumping stuff, more weaving through stuff, more going through tunnels and stuff, more stuff. That is just like, it's like, then we just see that and then we just want that in our home. But you don't want that in your home, but we want that in our home because that's all that we're seeing. And we think that that's what life is supposed to be like. And when you see something relaxed, you see something calm, you're just like, I want to shut that away. I want to shut that down. It's fascinating listening to a video I was just listening to now about the concept of when you actually do get into that say good relationship, it's calm and there's no chaos. And the first thing you have to do is cheat because you want to get back into chaos. You're not used to that calmness. You're not used to trust. You're not used to respect. You're not used to kindness. You're not used to being just heard. You're not used to any of that. You like to be able to live in that chaos. And that's I'm gonna say the hardest thing for all of us, any of us, to figure out how to be able to get through. Because for one, I give a recommendation all the time. Some people are just, Mark, you be talking, but what do I actually do? Because some people just, you need like step by step by step by step by step to do. And I want to give the one step and basically the only step that's going to be required in your life, in reality, to really just get you to get, ooh, a nice big bumblebee, to get into I haven't seen a bumblebee in years. That's fast. I'm sorry, I just got sidetracked. I got lost for it. When I see something, to me, spectacular. To you, it's it's just a bee. But I just haven't seen one in a long, like it's been years. But the number one step that people really need to understand how to be able to get into a better place, how to be able to get your dog to be able to lay down and relax and chill just like this, how to be able to get your dog to, granted, I had to say like down to the dude, I mean, he sat down. It's just, I was being picky, but I'm satisfied with the sit because he understands what I'm looking for. But I was just being picky that I probably shouldn't have been so picky with. But to get your dogs just to move with what I want to say is the real words of no conflict is do absolutely nothing. Sit down and shut the TV off, shut the music off, shut the book off, shut everything off, shut the newspaper off. Don't have nothing, don't read nothing, don't study nothing, don't hear nothing. Just stand and be, or sit and be in complete absolute silence for as absolute long as you most possibly can. Because as soon as you start doing that, that's where you're going to start to poke holes in yourself to figure out what's going on with you. Because you're going to start to get to thinking. Those thoughts are going to start going. Those thoughts are going to start going crazy. Those thoughts are going to start just building and building and building. Those thoughts are going to start to make you get anxious. I mean, just me saying that to you, just stand there and do nothing. At first, do baby stages. Do a minute. A minute's going to feel like a long time. I promise you, it's going to feel like a long time. If you've never just shut the world off for a moment and just stood and did nothing. Just grab your dog, grab a leash, grab a collar, and just stand and do nothing. Do nothing. Have no book on, movie on, don't nothing. And even more, try to help you to get to a place faster. Don't even think of anything. Try every single time the thought comes in, I'm just going to stand here. I'm just going to be. I'm going to be alive right now, right here. And just be here. Just be here. It is going to be, if you've never done it before, more likely not, probably the hardest thing that you've ever even done in your life still. It's going to be harder than, I don't like to give speeches. It's going to be harder than doing that. Because at least in that, you've got feedback, you've got people, you got stuff around. But when you're just all by yourself, you're just in silence. You got nothing around you. You got nothing to pay attention to. You got nothing to try to run away from your thoughts to get into the song, run away from your thoughts to get into the movie, to get into the book, to get into something else, but just deal with it. That's when you're going to realize what's going on with you, what's happening. Why do you like the chaos so much? The chaos is going to start to come to you. The chaos is going to start to just show up, and it's going to overwhelm you. And right in that moment, if you can't sit, like just straight up people, if you can't sit in that for 30 seconds to a minute, just know your dog's not going to stop being reactive. It's just not. Unless you're just feeding it, or correcting the heck out of that dog constantly to get it to stop doing that. If you can't do it, how are you and who are you to think that you could put those expectations on your dog to do something that you are incapable of being able to do? If you can't do it, that's one thing that I know for a fact has been able to fast track and help me with success with working with all the animals. It's not just the dog. My chickens, my cows, my donkey even. I was out in the back yesterday playing with the donkey, petting the donkey, hanging with my donkey. He's super chill because I'm super chill. We just hang out together. We get stuff done. And that's because I have a good understanding of, if I'm in fear, if I'm anxious, if I'm nervous, if something's going on, I just have to deal with it. And the more that I deal with it, the more I sit in it, the longer I sit in it, the more I get out of the chaos and I get into just being able to get through it faster. So this is how I'm able to get through anger and frustration and all that stuff. It's not like it doesn't want to come upon me anymore. It's just it doesn't have enough of an effect to be able to flip me to get somewhere. Because like earlier, I'm telling you, this is the way to get a way, way, way nicer everything in your life. Because like earlier today, we were at the lake, we was running, and this dog, she I don't know what it is. She was stuck on food today. I don't know what's going on in her brain today. Not every day is the greatest. Some days she's stuck on food today. So I always let her off leash when she goes plays in the water, and she's playing in the water. She comes out and I could just see the nose, and she's like, I'm going. Where's that scent? I want to get it. She just took off running, man. She took off running. And I said, hey, Ophi, here. And I said it with a little too much, little too much, like too much. Like I had a little attitude behind me by saying it. And she looked back at me like, buddy, I'm not going nowhere near that. She saw that. She saw that energy of me of being, I want to say, hostile. And she's like, I don't want to be nowhere near that. And I saw that, and then I realized I'm wrong, or right, who knows? But my state of being was wrong. And I instantly started to get to a point of, say, frustration, and I instantly dropped it. And then she instantly looked at me, she's like, oh, okay, I could be with that. And then she came right back to me that second. And that's where most of us mess up, because we get frustrated, we go chase the dog down, we get the dog, we handle the dog, we put the leash on the dog, we're like, let's go. Now the dog's like, I don't want to be around that. I don't want to be around that. Because when I get around that, that starts to give me attitude. That starts to bring chaos to me, and I don't want to be in that. But when you're able to just let the anger, let the frustration, let the anxiety, let it go, let it go, because you've basically like practiced to be able to deal with it more and more and more, instead of running away from it, instead of escaping it, the better and better and better you're going to be able to get the dog to be able to look. Because you're going to get the frustration. This is going to flip and go away and disappear. And your dog's going to see that and say, I like this. I like this. And these are skills that just we have to practice. We have to practice, and we have to push through to be able to practice. It's not something that just shows up, and it's not something that's just given to us. It's stuff that we have to absolutely deal with to be able to figure out how to be able to get better. And it's not easy. It's not easy. It's so easy to just run away, or long term, it's easier. Short term, it's not. Hold on. It's not easy in the short term, but long term, it's way easier. Short term, it's so easy to just go do some drugs, go do something, go do something. Grab that addiction that you're used to and just go do it. That's so easy in the moment to do, but it doesn't give you any long-term results. And that's where like dog training represents. They show you how to do stuff. Ophi, come here. They show you how to do stuff on a very short-term basis, but the long-term basis is what we really need to start paying more and more attention to. It's the long-term effects. Short-term, it may look pretty, it may look good for this second, but we're not helping anything. We're not dealing with the main issue that's going on here. We got a lot of people out here that are, the only way you can get stuff done, the only way you can do this is you have to punish the dog, you have to correct the dog, you have to give the dogs a treat. And I'm just gonna have to put a challenge to that and say, no. If you want it to look good right this moment, then yeah, that's the only way. If that's the way your lens looks at life, I want this second to look good. I don't care about what happens 5 years from now. I don't care about even a month from now. Then yeah, you have to go that route. But if you're a person that understands of how to be able to regulate yourself, from understanding that anger and rage and frustration and excitement and all that stuff, you're able to be able to just sit in it and not have to react to something else yourself, the more that you're going to see that your dog is going to follow along and want to be with that. Dogs want to be followers. They want to follow the lead of who they're with. If you're a reactive person, your dog is a reactive dog. Straight up. That is what it is. I've seen this and done this hundreds of times at this moment. Maybe not thousands and 5,000s, but I haven't been around enough dogs yet. And I'm going to almost guarantee that hundreds and thousands and dogs and later, it'll still be the same. I'm confident with myself knowing what I'm doing. I'm not wishy-washy. I'm quick to get out of anger. I don't get frustrated too quick. I'm super chill, super calm majority of all the day. The dog wants to be with me. The dog's going to be a reflection of that. I see that over and over and over and over and over again. And most dogs, I can put the show on and make them look like that right away, instantly. But it's a matter of, I still challenge just different things with my own self with getting different dogs, that I just see things that are just fascinating, that I don't need to do certain things to be able to get the dogs to just want to be with me. But when I come in and I disrespected and beating and punching this and abusing the dog, it's going to give me pushback, like you just saw what Johnny do. I used to do regular dog train stuff. I said no, that right there would have been, 5 or 6 corrections minimum that any dog trainer would have put on that dog. As soon as he sat, when they sat down, it said no, down. And he would have just stood his ground. He would have stood there and like, no, you better do better than that. And then you said no, down. And you say, you got to do better than that. And then that's if you got the e-collar on, you just start dialing up the numbers. This dude will take 100 on a collar, no problem, because he just understood what it felt like and what it is. So you would have to tap that button. He would sit there, he like, what you gonna do next? Because that's how he would look at me, just like that. He's like, what you gonna do next? What you got, buddy? What you gonna do? And we were just fighting and fighting and fighting. And you run into that situation because of all the disrespect that we've been doing with the dogs. But if you don't ever come into them that way, if you don't ever treat them that way, you pretty much don't have those issues. the issues that we're having that is really, really hard to come back from is because of all of the crazy madness that we've already been doing. And it's going to be hard to get through it, but it can be done. But you have to do it. You have to do it. And the main thing is you have to do it, and you have to work on your own self up front right away to be able to figure out how to get anything done on this planet. If you can't sit by yourself and get through anxiety problems with you, if you instantly like get this feeling of overwhelm and it's like, oh, I gotta go take this pill now, I gotta go do this, I gotta go do this, just expect that your dog is the exact same way. It's gonna do the same stuff. You could take one of my dogs that doesn't react, doesn't respond. I mean, which one is pretty good today? My border collie, my goodness. You could take my border collie and he will start being reactive on leash with you if you live with him long enough. He's going to start to be you, and or that dog in specific, he might just bite you and run away quick. He's not going to want to deal in a household like that. He doesn't want, I just know because I've seen him with other people around here. That's why in most cases, he doesn't really go to anybody. Someone will try to pet him, he'll pet him, they're like, I don't really like your energy. Like you not what I need. And this dude, this is why he's stuck on me. He's stuck on me. He doesn't want nothing else. He's just stuck with me because I give him what he needs, what he's looking for. And I trained him and worked with him much different. I do no dog training stuff on this dog, none. I'm doing on her the same thing I did with him. Hang out with me, hang out, we hanging out. And I learned to be able to get through my issues. And the more and more I kept getting through my issues, the more and more this dude wanted to be closer, closer, and closer to me. It didn't work the other way. It didn't work the other way at all. And that's something that if you don't know what to do, I'm telling you, do the hardest thing that you're probably gonna have to do in your lifetime right now. Just shut up, sit down, do nothing. Just don't do nothing. Don't have no music, no movies. Dead freaking silence. Dead silence. Dead nothingness. Dead do have nothing on you. Just stand with a dog. Don't even have a dog at first if that's too much for you already. Just do nothing. Sit on the couch and just shut everything off. And just see what thoughts start to come to you and figure out where you need to go next. Because more than likely, you already, I mean, I just know it, just personally me, on understanding of this planet and research that I've done. You already know what to do. It's not the outside world that's going to be able to explain to you what to do. You already know what to do. But you're doubting yourself because, for one, you like the chaos. You like it. You like it. And the world loves to just shove on us more and more chaos. They love to. I mean, just throw the news on today and listen to it for 5 minutes. They love to throw us into chaos and make us feel like chaos, man. Just death and murder and robs and cheating and stealing and just all kinds of crazy madness. That's like what's just being shoved to you. And I know why. Because it keeps you in reactive mode. And we wonder why dogs are all looking really reactive today. Thank you. Hey, Ovi. You come here? Hi. You can go. Hi, Johnny. This is one thing that I know. That situation that just happened with this Johnny man right there. If I would have came in, those are those times that I just have a good understanding of, like, they challenge us. Are you going to go back and do what you used to do type attitude? I've seen that across the board between this one, the Shepherd. I mean, I was a little hard on my Pyrenees even for a little while. I mean, especially Dalmatian, when I was being a little hard on her. Once you go towards punishment and then you try to stop it, the dog looks at you in a way of like, are you going to do that again to me? I know you're going to. And it's almost like they're taunting you. It seems that way to in the eye that I just personally see what's going on. It's like they look at me like, what are you going to do about that? What are you going to do? And then when you do nothing, they're like, oh, okay, fine. Because like right there, if I would have came in and corrected that Johnny man for not laying down, he wouldn't want to come near me again. But since I didn't, and since we worked through it in I want to say a more appropriate manner, maybe it wasn't perfect for the dogs. I said, see, you better sit. I'm not a perfect human being. And I don't expect my dogs to be perfect in any way. I, at the end of the day, appreciate the challenges because it builds me to be better. It builds me to. 2 years ago, I'd have shut this off. I'd have been enraged that the dog didn't lay down, and I would have had to put the leash on him. I don't even have one on me right now. I don't even carry it on me out here no more because I don't even care anymore. But I would have had to leash this dog up. I would have had to pull him, yank him down, and tell him what I wanted, and this is what you have to do. And I would have been. But today, when I see that he does stuff like that to me, it gives me more practice to be slow to anger, to just slow to frustration, to just realize it ain't that serious, man. The dog didn't lay down. Who the heck cares? I'm out on the property. What are we in danger out here? I mean, he was carrying an egg. I'm trying to make sure that, let's just talk the other day about you eat the eggs, you don't get dinner tonight. But I gotta help him out. He's not the smartest of the smartest. So I'm like, you put the egg down, you come here, and we're gonna have dinner tonight. Because I know there's not enough out there right now for him to just eat. So I'm trying to help him out. And me trying to help him out, he's trying to give me a little bit of attitude. And I'm trying to like just balance this. But it just gives me more practice of being able to see when I start to get frustrated of just, I don't care. And know what that feeling feels like. That frustration comes up and just sit in it and don't respond. Don't react with it. Just sit in it and just let it go and walk away. The more that you practice that, the faster and faster and faster it'll become. And the less traumatized everything around you is going to be in reality. A lot of times we yell at stuff and bicker with things like hundreds of times a day. We don't even realize it because it's just these little micro things that go on. You know, you're a little late for work and you're like, and everything around you is just like, what the heck is going on? Like, what's happening? And you're putting everything around you in trauma from these little things that are going on with us. The dishwasher didn't wash. You tried to wash it and you pulled it out, it's still dirty. You just got all these little things that go on. As opposed to looking at it, seeing it, having that feeling come in and just, it's all right. Hit go. I'll get it later. Get 2 hours to be ready. It's okay. I could delay that 2 hours. I got time. It's not the end of the world. It's not, everything isn't over with. And you get into that more and more. And that's what, across the board, most all animals, especially even humans, like to be around somebody like that. That when they're not just quick to just go into this madness, chaos, man. As much as we love it in our lives, it's something about being around someone that's calm that people try. This is the part that I think a lot of people get weird about me with. And people try to make videos about me and try to say stuff about me, and I don't put anything into it because I don't know why, but I don't care. But that I don't care, it infuriates them, and it wants to make them like do it more. And then when you still don't do anything and you still make nothing happen of it, they have no choice but to either stop or join on and ask, hey, what are you doing, man? How are you able to like keep it cool like that? What's all about that? And the more and more that you're able to do that, that's in reality what I would say is the role model of the people that we want. That's who I watch and who I follow. The people that someone will attack them right in their face and slander them, talk down to them, and he just looks at them like, okay, all right. That's who I want to pay attention to, because that's who is a solid quality, what I would say, is a leader. And those people, I mean, at the end of the day, the dog trainers that I really like the most, you can see that in them. And the dogs, they love that. All animals across the board love that. And that's what, in reality, everyone should aspire to be. A calm, relaxed person on this planet. Not a person that's impatient and just mean and rough and hollering and yelling and living in chaos. That's just nothing for anyone to want to be around.